Hello!
Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to the debut edition of Supernatural Talk.
Oh, been a minute.
Eileen, that was a brilliant name, by the way. Supernatural Talk.
Yes.
It's been a minute. I was about to say for me to be on anything. I know you, Jeremy, up until recently. And I don't remember when the last time Adrienne was on something. Now, Nick, he doesn't count.
Monday.
Oh, that's right. You got your other show. Oh, I'm bad.
Yeah, she's been on for a little while.
To my defense, I am working in office by myself since February, so we're good.
Yeah. And me, I just been hiding undercover.
I'm a
And
Now
Eileen,
Eileen is hiding undercover.
So how's everybody doing?
Wow.
another night in paradise.
Oh, doing fine.
Well,
Oh, gosh, do we really have to deal with Scott Smith today?
well, we've already got a whole bunch of people watching us and chatting it up in the audience. So hello to everybody and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
This is Supernatural Talk. This is our new Thursday night show. And the four of us have worked together on a number of occasions, both on podcast and in person. And a couple of us are actually going to be meeting up again very, very soon. Like less than 48 hours.
Yes, it is.
Yes. But first of all, before we get into the fun stuff, let's talk about something serious. A couple days ago, we lost a dear, dear friend of ours. She ran the Crazy Cat Paranormal out of Texas, Cecilia Clark. Very big shock to all of us to lose her. And she was one of the biggest supporters of all the paranormal. And she will be very, very sorely missed.
I got to say it. This is for Cecilia. Go Buffalo Bills.
Cheers.
Huge Buffalo Bills fan, so we bonded over that.
Yeah. So, yeah, she will be missed, and it's sad. But who knows? Maybe she'll give us some help from the other side.
You never
I
know.
wouldn't doubt it.
Yep, she just might. Meanwhile, tonight we are streaming all over the place. So normally our shows are on Things Network on the Facebook page. Some of our shows also stream onto the YouTube page, and Nick and Adrienne have also been streaming out to Twitch, and Nick has also been streaming out to Twitter, and we are streaming to all of those as well.
And Zach's channels.
And Zach's
Yep.
channels. And we are also streaming onto the Things Go Society YouTube channel, Things Universal. And tonight we were offered to stream onto Prometheus Productions and Skeleton Key Network. So we're giving those a shot as well. Yeah, Scott, don't cross the streams.
Guys, sorry, I'm eating. I had to work late today.
For once, I finished before we got on here.
Yeah, like right before. I have been working all the way up to the point where we had to get ready for this show because I'm getting ready for my big trip tomorrow.
I didn't realize that trip was tomorrow, Jeremy.
Yep. starts tomorrow. I have a doctor's appointment with the plastic surgeon, and then I'll be taking off right from there. And I'll be stopping in Colorado for a couple of days. Three guesses. Yeah, I got some crazy people I got to meet.
We're going to see some locations that I haven't even got to go see yet because it's been cold.
Well,
so they're going to be neat. Anybody wants to look them up? Cheeseman Park in Denver is a cemetery. It was a cemetery. And they started digging up bodies and realized that, they were getting paid by the casket. So they split bodies in half and, half here, half in another casket, double your money. And then they just kind of half did it and bones are coming up still.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
Wow.
Adrienne, I got to say right now, I don't know if Zach has told you, and Jeremy, I don't know if I think you saw the ending of my show last night. The funny part is that's what I'm going to be talking about for my next show next Wednesday, Cheeseman Park.
No, I only got to see the last 10 minutes of it because I was so busy on some stuff.
Well,
Yep.
Nick, I will send you pictures. So you
Yeah,
can
I'm actually
show.
doing 2 locations in that area. I'm doing Cheeseman Park, and then I'm also showing a mansion that no longer exists that was in that same area, the Henry Treat Rogers Mansion.
Okay. We're also going to be doing a road. It's, I want to say, 7 or 8 mile span in Brighton.
In Brighton,
which is less than 20 minutes from Denver, downtown Denver. And it said that if you just look up Haunted Road in Brighton, there's a cemetery there that they say a lady puts flowers down on a certain grave, and you turn to, and she's gone, but the flowers are still there. There's supposedly a phantom car. I want to say it was a T-Bird or something. Anyway, it was a phantom car. There's children that, the old story of if you park on the railroad tracks, kids are going to push you.
Yep.
That story. And then there's the jogger that you see and the lady in white. So we're going to see what we can find.
Is it I just looked it up. Is it Riverdale Road? Is that
That's
what
it.
it is? Yeah, it's actually 11 miles.
Oh, there we go.
That should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
That's what I want to do in the dark. I do not want to be downtown Denver in the dark.
No,
I wonder why.
It looks
just driving to Denver on the interstate is bad enough.
It is. It is.
It looks just like Cuba Road we have here. I mean, I'm not in the house where Cuba Road is. My dad's house that he recently got. We got Cuba Road, and it looks just like it, but Cuba Road is much shorter. It's just like a 2-mile stretch of road.
Zach says Camaro. Okay. He's the one who looked it up for me, so no.
And there's a couple of roads nearby where I live. One is maybe about 10 miles out of town. And Clarissa and I were actually going to go there one night. But that was going to be 2 days after the accident that I had. So we weren't able to go and do that. We're going to try to do that sometime this summer. And then there's also another one that's called 13 Curves. Nick, you may know about this one. You know Columbia City, right?
Yeah, I know Columbia City.
So right on the northeast part of that town, there's a small road that if you go from one end to the other, it dead ends on both sides. And there are literally 13 curves to this thing. And right in the middle, there's a little forest area that kind of overgrows and it forms like a tunnel. And I personally have been there. Scott Smith took me there along with a couple other people, and we had some crazy activity that night.
I've heard of the location. I haven't been there, but that actually sounds really cool to check out. I mean,
It really is.
Put that on my list.
Yeah, because about maybe a half mile away from it is an old Indian burial ground, from what I understand.
Oh, wow.
Looks like we missed a few people.
Yeah.
Don, Stott.
Because they just, hello, everyone.
Yeah.
What is that? The photos?
Yeah. Let's see what.
Chrissy?
That might be just the Twitch because it is coming from Twitch.
Yeah, that is Twitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we do have somebody following us, so thank you. Thank you.
The first one I've seen.
Now, if anybody happens to be in Mississippi this weekend, have y'all seen the movie The Help?
What movie?
The Help. It was filmed in Mississippi, and it's about anyways, there's this one location, if anybody has seen it, that one of the ladies could never get help, get anybody like maid or anything. And she actually, if anybody's seen the movie, the house where they had the miscarriage in and all that, that is where I'm investigating with Southern Paranormal. It's they're putting it on, and I'll go and help them. That's where kind of when the mud pie or the chocolate pie came from, where it's really not a chocolate pie.
Oh, look.
Oh,
He's
so-
from Greece.
oh my goodness, he's from Greece.
Oh,
Welcome.
wow.
He's a Facebook user. Okay.
Yeah, who is
we
this?
gotta, come on.
Yeah.
Show yourself. Wow, from Greece, though. That's awesome.
Can't be incognito here.
The Twitch name, Clarissa, is Things Network. That's it, Things Network. From Greece. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Actually, that you might be our first ever viewer from Greece. For
I
the
don't know
think
how
so.
many
I
people I've ever seen from Greece.
I mean, I know a
Yeah.
few people from Greece, but this is somebody I sure as hell don't know. But that's
This-
awesome.
This is awesome.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
already international in a way.
Yep.
That is awesome.
That is awesome. And thank you.
Really?
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, we're streaming to Twitch. We're also streaming to Twitter. When the time comes, we're also going to stream out to TikTok and LinkedIn. But we got to get the followers on that first before we can go live.
I heard you could also broadcast, I think, on Vimeo, which I don't know if you guys remember what Vimeo is, or it's like a YouTube site too.
I've heard of it, but I didn't know that was another option that we could use for streaming live.
Possibly. I'm still looking into it because I have a Vimeo account.
It's
Okay.
3 a.m. in Greece.
3 a.m.
What are you
wow,
doing
it's in the
up? You work the
middle
night
of the
shift or
night.
just can't sleep?
Wow.
Unless
you're
I'm
putting up with
investigating, I'm
me,
in bed at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, wait, Chantel. I mean, because Chantel was watching. She's from South Africa. That makes you wonder what time is it out in South Africa?
Some paranormal
She
activity
is.
happening right now.
I remember talking to her about that. Just about the time difference. I think she's 7 hours ahead of me.
Okay, so around like the same time zone as like most of Europe would be.
Yeah.
They're usually 6-7 hours ahead of us too.
Yeah, I think she's 7 hours ahead of me. Might be 6.
Okay, some paranormal activities happening right now. Oh wow.
Are you at home or at work?
Or an investigation.
Could be. Yeah.
3 a.m.
Yeah,
very possible.
Well, it's Friday morning over there for him right now, or her. I don't know if that's a him or her.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
1 a.m. UK. We still don't know who you are, but now we know you're from the UK.
Denny, how you feeling?
Hello, Denny.
What's up, Denny?
But yeah, over there, especially where Greece is at, that whole region, I imagine, is just fraught with
He's
activity.
at home. Oops, wrong one. He's at home.
Okay. I would love to go international on some investigations.
It's a guy.
He's a man. Okay.
Male. Yeah.
Danny getting better each day. I could swore you didn't even have surgery. You were up there the next day, just like nothing happened.
He's a tough old man.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. And speaking of tough, Scotty, how you doing, brother?
I was going to say,
Who's here,
Scotty's too crazy to be anything but tough.
So I got to say this because you guys know I have my international connection because I made a whole list. I don't know if this is one of them, but there's only 2 paranormal investigators I know of who live in Greece. So if this is one of them or if it's somebody else, you're the third.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I don't know anybody from Greece that I am aware of.
Oh,
I have a
looks
few
like
from Bulgaria.
Clarissa found him. She's on her Twitch account now.
Oh, that's Clarissa. Okay, awesome. Awesome. See, this is what network expansion is all about because I don't want to limit to just Facebook or just YouTube because there's a lot of people that don't use Facebook.
Yep.
And there are some people that don't like YouTube. So let's cover all the markets
Yeah.
and might find some viewers out there that enjoy this kind of stuff.
Or you could be like me and stay in Facebook jail and can never watch anything in your comments, so you don't have to go somewhere else.
I know. I was one of the reasons why you had to go to jail.
There's two of you on the screen right now.
What's with this Twitter excitement, Zach?
There are two of you on the screen right now that caused me to go to Facebook jail 2 different times.
It's kind of hard to cause somebody to go there. You kind of have to.
They egg it on, and Nick, you see nothing's on my cup.
I don't even remember what I said, but she replied back saying she was going to beat me up. and boom,
the bad thing is, I think it was the same thing I replied to Nick.
Yeah. And I saw the comment, and I was getting ready to reply to it, and then all of a sudden the comment was gone. I thought maybe she had removed it, decided to put down something else, and instead, Facebook had already removed her that quick.
My big old muscles here, I could really do some harm to somebody.
Ooh, Jeremy, Clarissa said we should broadcast paranormal games on Twitch. That would be awesome.
I would love to do something like that. In fact, I was actually talking to a guy a few weeks ago. He was considering doing a show on the network, and then we just kind of lost touch. But he likes to play video games and stream it. And we were talking about him playing paranormal video games on the network like late Monday night.
Well, if you remember, Jeremy, I was doing something like that for a little while. If you remember, about a year or so ago, I was kind of doing like a little show of my own where I was playing horror and paranormal style games.
I do, yes.
Hey, if he's looking for someone, if he's doing like a 2-player game, I'd be willing to do it because I got a lot of those games on Steam.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe he lost interest or what. I hadn't talked to him in a while.
I don't know if you guys would know this game because I actually have it. It's gotten to be a very popular game. It was called. Have you guys ever heard of that new game that's called Phasmophobia?
Mm-mm.
It's literally a paranormal investigation game. Like you get like the EMF, you get all like the classic tools, and you investigate like different haunted like houses. Like they're residential locations, and you can do it like internationally. And you can play with a few people on it. So it's one of those type of cross streams, if you will.
You know, I saw something I don't know if it is that particular game, but I saw something just like that about a week ago. Sha Wooten was playing. And she was doing a paranormal investigation video game. It might be that very game. I don't know.
Okay.
You guys mind if I share the screen for just a second? I do have a snapshot of the game.
I'm like the biggest non-gaming nerd. So if someone could just tell me, where do you play this on? What system? What phone? I mean, where?
Phasmophobia. You can buy it on Steam. It's just like a few dollars to get, but this is the title right here of Phasmophobia. And here's just a snapshot of the game. You capture ghosts. You capture different type of entities through this game.
Okay.
It's a really creepy. Unfortunately, like many survival horror games, you do have a life. So if you don't get out of the way or hide in a particular place, like when things start getting a lot more intense, you unfortunately die. But it's still a great game whatsoever. But very, very creepy indeed.
But when Shaw was playing it. You know how in those first-person video games that you got the gun and that's all you see right there. Mm-hmm. She had a digital thermometer on hers.
Oh, okay.
That's what she had. She had the digital thermometer, and she was going all over the place wherever she was at. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds like that was that's not the same game, but I can kind of picture exactly what it is. I'm just not sure what it is.
Yeah.
I'll keep
So
crafting.
now,
That's my
Fotis,
thing. Everybody else in my family. James, I'll keep crafting.
now, Fotis, in the
Joshua.
mountain I can see in 1970, an airplane collapsed near an army base. Now, people at the area say that it's haunted.
Oh, wow.
It could very well be.
Yeah, 50 years ago too, from 1970.
Yep. Could very well be.
I'll show this because this is nice. What Josh just said.
Josh, we don't play nice with Jeremy. Playing nice with Jeremy's
No,
not good.
nobody ever does.
Yep. Denny here had a question here. Do any of you think that in the future the paranormal will be accepted by society as any other aspect of life?
We're getting closer.
Yeah, we are definitely getting close. We're not quite there yet, but I do believe, and I'm pretty sure in our lifetime, it will be accepted.
We're getting there. We're definitely getting there.
We're not looked at as the crazy fools anymore. Well, except Jeremy and Nick, but we're not looked at as the crazy fools anymore.
You know what, Eileen? It takes one to know one.
I never denied it, did I?
I'm going to share the screen one last time because Scott said that he sent me a snapshot of the game called Fatal Frame. I guess that's what the game was called.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, wrong one. You guys see that? Is this what you were talking about, Jeremy?
I can see it, but you'll have to zoom in on it.
I can't zoom in on. Well, actually, let me see if I. Okay, here we go.
Maybe if Shorty could send you a better picture.
It is a little bit pixelated, I will have to admit.
Yeah. Well, that kind of ties in with every other picture that's out there anyway. It's all pixelated.
Okay, photo said investigators are coming often.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you live there, huh?
You live out in Greece.
Maybe when we do our world tour, we can stop there in Greece and go to that location.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
it would be.
I think I heard Jeremy say something about buying me a ticket to go. Yeah, I think you said something about buying my plane ticket. Okay.
What'd you say, Eileen? I'm deaf.
Nope. I think you heard that one.
Oh, I want me to tell you, Jerry, because I heard her.
I'm about to say you can't use that. I know you heard it.
Well, I can take my hearing aids off, and then I wouldn't be able to hear anything.
I think everybody in the chat's heard you say you're buying my plane ticket.
Ain't nobody heard that.
Nope.
I'll use the Jedi Force. Ain't nobody heard what Eileen said. Speaking of Eileen, I have been wanting her to talk about this for a while. How did Saturday and Friday go at the temple?
Oh, okay. You guys spare me for a second there. I didn't know what I was supposed to talk about.
Yeah.
It was actually really good. That was the first time I had been at one of Ray Sabino's events with Flamary, and I didn't know what to expect, but it was actually very well put on. Of course, we had the dog whistle, Jeremy. I told you I was going to keep trying to use it. And so then, like I had given Mustafa a dog whistle to use because he stayed in the theater room. And if anybody hasn't been in this location, it's at least 6 floors, a basement and a sub-basement.
Yep.
So of course the feet were hurting and the ankles and calves and all were hurting by the end of the night. But he was in there and he said that he was getting some responses while he was in there. Reggie was setting off some equipment. I sat in Reggie's seat, and I guess he liked it because he kind of quit messing with the equipment at that point. So I told him I would scoot over. I was sitting in his lap. Then now the sub basement for us was kind of quiet. And now I don't know. I know you went in there. Both you and Adrienne went in there a few times before Fear Fest. Did y'all ever go into, what is it called, like the confession room?
Oh, yeah. I've been in every room in that temple.
Okay. When we were there last time, I never went into that room. Didn't know that room even existed because there's so many little rooms.
I don't even know which room that is.
It's like literally the size. I mean, not this big, not really, but big enough that only me and one other person and a table could fit in there. And
On
it's got
which
2
floor is
doors.
this?
The 6th floor. It's in between the blue and the red room.
Jeremy, you remember that room, right? Now that Ilene has said that, I remember we were in that room. That was when I was missing one of the cat balls.
But it has like black
Yeah.
walls.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
And
I
I
know
was
what
still
you're talking
filming.
about, but I had not gone in there.
Well, Lindy from Tangipahoa Parish, that's who I went up there with. Me and her were in the room, and we were doing a spirit box session, and nothing was coming through. So finally, I asked a question. I said, "Do you want a man? Will you talk if a man comes in here?" And it said yes. So the whole time, nothing had said anything until that moment. So I go and find a man. Laugh at Greg real quick because I said, "Hey, I need a man in here." He goes, "Well, sometimes I what does he say? Something about sometimes I call myself a man or something like that." So I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I was trying to find the rest of my team, couldn't find them, and I looked over, and here comes Mustafa. He goes, "All right, I'll go." So we go into that room, and of course, nothing's going across it. Next thing you hear, and I'm sorry, is it okay if I say what it was said, Jeremy?
Huh?
Is it okay if I say what was said?
I don't even remember what was said.
Well, it called him, and I apologize if anybody, but just tell you what it said. It called Mustafa a faggot.
Oh,
Oh.
And
wow.
he's
I,
like, he
I
goes,
don't remember you telling me that. I don't remember you telling me that.
well, he said, all right, that's all I ever get out of spirit boxes. I'm out of here. It leaves. And you know how when it's dark, your face does start, seeing in the dark, your eyes start seeing in the dark. I'm looking at Lindy, and all of a sudden, like her face, her face started changing. Well, it's dark, my eyes, So I quickly flashed the flashlight on her to see what was going on. And of course, she looked fine at that point. But about the time the spirit box said, "Behind you," and we both had like goosebumps up our arms. So then after that, it was quiet. I mean, it was like, it had its little moments, and it was quiet. And then we did some experiments in the Eastern Star Room. But down in the lobby, Shannon Rogers, me, and Lindy were down in the main lobby, and on command, you heard a whistle, like someone whistling, and then you heard a loud boom. It wasn't nearly as active as it was the first time, but it was still enough that I'm definitely going back to the temple again.
Have you seen my
I'd go
video on
back.
that?
Mm-mm.
The first time I was there, we were in the ballroom, and we were everybody, different places, and me and Jennifer went down in the ballroom. It's just us, and I heard that whistle, and I said, "Oh, thank you. Can you do it again?" There was clanking in that kitchen, constant clanking, and I was talking to this whatever it was, man, I'm assuming, and I said, "I'm going to go get some equipment so I can communicate with you." Started to walk up the stairs, hit that second step, and it's like someone took a table and slammed it behind us on the ground. It was that loud.
Was that on the 2nd floor?
The ballroom, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we
I
were,
remember
and
the
I did
ballroom.
just remember this. So we were on tour. Of course, nothing's rolling. And I haven't listened to all my evidence yet, but we were on the 2nd floor balcony, looking over the ballroom lobby, whatever.
Mhm.
And one of the doors that's always shut, and the whole group is all together. You hear boom, like one of the doors just slammed shut. And Jennifer and I looked at each other, was like, "Okay, what was that?" But everybody was all together, so there was no one near there.
Yeah, that was the first time one of the first few times that the girls had investigated overnight, and she started take off running up the stairs, and I grabbed her shirt and said, "We don't run. We don't run." She goes, okay, I'm still having fun. It's okay. And by the time we got upstairs, we were shaking, both of us shaking, trying to figure out what the heck just happened.
Well, Jennifer was like, "Do y'all want to keep investigating?" I was like, "I do, but my legs say no."
Oh man, we did 8 hours, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah.
And then, no, actually we did 11 hours because we ran all the cords from top to bottom. Had cameras everywhere.
You can only, and then of course one of our Tommy from Tangipahoa, we had put him in the women's bathroom. He said he got kind of sick while he was in there. He didn't have anything like physically happen other than just got sick. And yeah, they said that it doesn't like men in there by itself because it's a women's bathroom. And so we were trying to find him. And so we're like walking around because we're not going back downstairs just to come all the way back up to the 6th floor if he's like curled up somewhere asleep. Yeah, him and Josh were back at the hotel room. And we were searching for him.
Okay, so I don't want to skip over this. Our man from Greece.
Yeah, Fotis had a question here. How the spirit box works.
So the spirit box, what that is that it brings in radio frequencies, and the spirit box sweeps across all of those channels at a fast pace. And it's supposed to be enough static, I guess. I don't want to say energy, but enough static there for it to be able to try to put a voice through. Greg Bakken would actually be the best one to answer that. And I don't know if he is watching this show. He is on this network.
Primary example of the Xbox. Yes,
yeah.
SB11.
Play that real quick to give him an idea of how it works.
Hang on 1 second.
I'm still sharing this show out, by the way.
Oh, here we go. I was trying to. Yeah, so it can also play on different speeds. If I can get it to slow down.
And I love to put mine going backwards.
Yeah, that
way.
That's right. I keep mine on white noise, so that way.
It's been a while since I've used this. Noise. Yeah, here we go. Now here's at a lower frequency. This is usually the speed I'd normally keep it at. It's at speed 3.
And me personally, I don't like using Spirit Box because it hurts my ears.
It hurts me too. Okay, so I thought maybe I was the only oddball, but no.
Hey, Jeremy, that's why I brought the dog whistle just to be just use as a backup.
I just had to buy a new dog whistle.
Yeah. But I personally don't like using it because it hurts my ears. But I do have members of my team who do it. And when they do, I make sure that I excuse myself to be away from that.
Right.
Because it really does hurt my ears. It has to do with the pitch in the noise. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my God.
Whoever you are. Yeah.
Whoever it is knows about us.
I've seen people. This must be the same person. Who is this that's been commenting? Adam,
okay, whoever this is, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. You have to give StreamYard or is it the other way? No,
you gotta give StreamYard.
You have to give StreamYard permission to use your name, so that we can know who you are.
I wonder if that's Adam, because not only did he joke about the Gorilla Glue thing, but he also was known to call me Nicopedia. So I wonder if that's him.
There's quite a few that call you that.
Yeah, I know there is, but he was one of the first.
Yeah.
Let's see. On the Spirit Box. And
hello to Ben Sands.
Yep.
Hello.
Fatal Frame has been my favorite game for a long time. All three of my kids play it now as well. Emery's, hello. Oh, here, Denny said something here. Interesting. The step down.
Oh, that's Chantel.
Oh, it's Chantel.
I noticed if you go through certain people's pages, it might be the people who are leading it on or leading the StreamYard, that it does not, no matter what, it will not show who you are. You have to get off and go to like a different page.
Well, it can't be going through my page because I took my page off as one of the destinations. So, and we've only got 4 Facebook pages going. I'm going to guess you are going through the Universal page.
Yeah.
Chantel.
Yes, Joshua, we can see your name.
Okay, see. Denny said something I thought was interesting. The step-down room I was in the hospital was so haunted. You could see shadows fitting around the room day and night and hear muffled voices talking. And one poked my foot several times. Not a light poke, but a hard one. I was not groggy from anesthesia. I was wide awake.
Did you take pictures?
Sure he'll respond soon. Oh, Greg's on. Hey, good to see you, Greg.
Hello, Greg.
Now, one thing I love to do with the spirit box is, even though yes, it does it gives me kind of a headache too, but is the sensory deprivation. I do like doing that. Now I know, like when I was with Donald and Rebecca, we actually
No camera.
did it across a grass area. Like me and Rebecca were inside the Coatsworth house. Donald was inside the library, which is across the yard from there, and that's when we were doing it there, and still getting pretty good responses.
Okay, I'm doing one last thing for Sharon. I'm a little late on this one.
Donald, if you learned to talk to your wife, you would know that answer. Sorry, y'all. That's my brother.
Yeah, I don't know why it's been happening, like the Facebook user thing. I don't know why that's been happening a lot to Chantel lately.
Must say it happens to me quite a bit.
It is a brand new page, literally, for her.
That's right, because she just started a new profile. Yeah. Donald.
He loves me.
Yeah, a lot of people love you, and they sure don't talk to you very nice.
If that's
like I don't talk to them very nice, that could be part of it.
I think that's I think we're seeing a good example of tough love to Ilene here.
Yeah. Oh, Donald, of course, yeah. She's not going to get anything nice from him.
Man, like that's tough love. Just leave me the hell alone.
Yeah.
It's sisterly, brotherly love.
Now, if we get Rebecca on here and Shannon on here, it's game over. The three of us, we don't even have to say anything at that point.
Oh, we are out of here.
Yep.
And Parathug?
No, I do real well with Shannon.
Parathug, add Parathug to the mix.
That is so funny. When I saw that Shannon had when she went down to the basement area, like where the boiler was, and she took a picture like where she last like drew her name or something, and right below that was my old team and name right below it. I was like, oh my god, it's so awesome. Still there.
The markers, I told Jennifer they need new markers because I don't know if you saw mine, it was like I felt like I was a 3-year-old trying to write again.
That wasn't the easiest thing to write on.
Huh?
That wasn't the easiest thing to write on.
Well, this one kind of ended up being flat on the end, but I had, of course, I signed my name right underneath the last signature.
Yeah, but my signature was right next to Shannon's.
I'm sorry.
That's right. Yeah. I will admit, I mean, it was all made of concrete too, so I could see why it wasn't that easy to write on it.
Oh, we have a Randy in the house too.
No.
Randy is here.
No. Randy is our road tripper.
Hey,
Randy
Josh,
comes out and plays during road trips.
Okay.
Not sure if I mentioned this earlier, but my foyer was totally destroyed. I heard a loud noise, but ignored it. It's a common occurrence. Well, lo and behold, all my stuff was on the floor.
Wow.
And where was this, Joshua?
Am I hearing some beeping noises? Where was
I
that coming from?
I was trying to figure that out too.
That's probably my dryer. I'm doing one last load of clothes before I pack up.
Sounds like you got the same kind of dryer.
My clothes.
Hey, what's up, Robin? Sounds like you got the same dryer we got here, Jeremy, because our dryer does the same same noise after it's done.
Yeah.
Unmute
Wow.
mine.
For those who don't know, I was just recently on Robin's show a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, for an interview. So that was a lot of fun. She had
And
the
this
show
is
on.
only your second show because you were just on. This is
Clarissa's.
This is my third
your
show.
third show because you're on Clarissa's.
Hmm. Yeah, that one went on way longer than either one of us had planned. It was
Kelly.
only supposed to be an hour-long show, and we went on for almost 2.5 hours.
Wow.
But I had a lot to talk about, too.
Good to see you, Kelly. We are really going international tonight, guys.
Yeah, we are.
First
That's
Greece.
just awesome.
First Greece, then South Africa, now the UK. Wow.
Where did I miss South Africa?
Oh, Chantel lives in South Africa.
Okay.
Got you.
Yeah. Chantel tries to catch a lot of shows. I've been seeing Kelly a lot lately.
Yeah.
She just started watching, I think, within the last couple of weeks.
Cambridge.
And I've been seeing her name often.
Well, that's nice, Robin.
It was definitely a pleasure, Robin. I enjoyed it.
Kel from Cambridge in the UK.
Why does hers after her, what she says, say GB after it? Or does she, yeah. You know,
I'm going to guess she put that in there for Great Britain.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Every time I see her comment, it says GB afterwards. And I thought,
You know what it also might be? That might be because sometimes you got to use emojis. Like I think that might be the emoji. It might be for the British flag. Sometimes the emojis don't always work.
It's not showing. I got you.
So,
I'm like,
yeah, I think it's
saying GB.
And I just realized, actually, guys, make that 4 different countries because I forgot. Joanne Stewart's from Canada.
Canada, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, awesome.
Yeah, so make that 4.
What is Joshua? What?
What did you just say? Madame After Dark. What the hell?
Madame After Dark. Oh, that's that is one of Robin's shows.
Oh, okay.
I was lost.
Yeah, Robin has 2 shows. One is called Ask Madam, and the other one is Madame After Dark.
Okay.
See, Donald's from another country, somewhere like deep in his brain somewhere.
Yeah, and Robin just said that too. That it's the flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just a little confused there. I'm like, what in the world?
Well, Donald says you're slow, so you know.
I've never denied it either.
Yeah, it's definitely the Union
I have to
Jack.
be for him to be my brother. I chose him.
Yeah, I just tried it myself. That's definitely for the Union Jack flag.
See now, Adrienne, you don't know as much the love-hate relationship between me and Donald. Them 2 crazy boys, they were on Messenger Live or whatever we were doing the whole time I was riding with Donald and Rebecca. It's fun. Those are fun trips.
Oh, the video chat.
Yeah, that was the word I was trying to think.
Yeah, and that was when your screen froze up, and I was like, Nick, get a screenshot, get a screenshot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, we had so much fun.
Oh, that was great.
We're so mean to each other.
Yeah.
I still have that screenshot, Jeremy.
I know you sent it to me. I'd have to go back and find it.
I was showing you how to get rid of, not that I've done it in a long time, but get rid of chin fat. It's
Nick,
an exercise.
Find that thing and put it up here.
I don't care. Put it up there.
Flex your neck. That's
I know,
how you get
that's
rid
what I
of it.
was doing, but I was also showing you all this other, and it froze like boom.
It couldn't have frozen at a time than that. That was just perfect.
I mean, when you're looking at a 15-hour road trip ahead of you and you hear people snoring in the back, you have to do stuff to entertain yourself.
Yep.
And then Donald, having so much, being very gassy during the 15 hours. Yeah. That was a fun road trip.
Woo! And in such close quarters. Yeah.
I'm ignoring him.
Yeah. What was that for us, Nick? About a 10-hour trip?
Yeah, it was about a good 10-hour trip to get to Salina.
Yeah, and we have plenty of entertainment. Thank you,
Oh my
Eileen.
God. Yeah, I mean, I think that was like that funny picture. I think that was by the time we were in Missouri. And it's so funny how like for a number of hours we were like literally out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the road, and we were somehow able to entertain ourselves.
Oh yeah.
My job here is done. Like I said, for those who weren't there, oh shoot, the Paracon and Tyler was something else. But all of us on this screen, I mean, the moment we met, I mean, I knew a lot of y'all knew each other, but I know with me, the moment all three of us met, besides Nick, it was like instant.
It was.
I mean, Nick was different, so we don't count him in that.
Jeremy just sent me something through the phone.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, put that up here. No, that's not clear. Put it up here.
Here, I can share the screen for it.
There you go.
Okay.
You guys know my screen.
It was not Tyler.
Let me get the message up first. Give me 1 second here.
It's no fun if people don't see the thing. It's
okay.
And it wasn't the Paracon and Tyler that was fun. It was the hospital that was the funniest investigation when you made people smell your hours.
Yeah.
You know, Eileen, I don't think that will get rid of Kim fat.
No, I
think I win. You caught it like mid thing. It wasn't like that moment.
I still remember when I sent you the photo, Eileen. You sent a voicemail to which oh damn it! I don't know if I do have that voicemail anymore. But you were like you were gonna beat me. You were gonna kick my ass or something like that.
Yeah.
It was on voicemail, or I would have been like already in Facebook chat.
And then, of course, I was doing my funny Southern accent throughout the whole time.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what can we say about that? I mean,
Kelly, where have you been in America?
Okay, we can get off the screen now.
Oh, come on. We can just do a show like this. It's okay.
It is not the news thing for the show.
Oh, you know what? I think. Oh, wait, Eileen.
Oh gosh.
Eileen, I just found the voicemail. Yeah, this was her response when I sent her the picture. Listen carefully. It's only 2 seconds.
I'm so gonna kill
y'all. Thank you, Greg.
That never gets old.
I'm getting my cup next time. You owe me my cup next time.
Like Donald's response, like, what the hell?
No, what's funny, if y'all ever investigate with Donald Martin and you smell something funky, it came out of his booty, okay? I promise you.
He had a demon?
He had people sniffing because there was this horrible smell. He had people sniffing, trying to think if there was a sewage leak at the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Thinking there was a sewage leak, and that thing lingered for an hour, and I am not exaggerating.
Oh man!
Wow,
now that gives new definition to phantom smells.
Yep.
Like we couldn't even sit in the break room, but she was around there going, "I think we got a sewage leak somewhere" for like an hour. And at the end of the night, because a lot of times we go and we share a hotel room, him and his wife. And so Rebecca's in her bed, I'm in my bed, and he's at the computer. He turns around, he goes, "I got a secret." We're like, "What?" He goes, "The smell," or I don't remember exactly how he did it, but it's like, "The smell was me. I farted."
Yeah, well, he's saying smell it all over like it was cocaine.
I made him call her when we got home and tell her it was him.
Oh, wow.
So those are my road trip stories.
Adrienne, here's Kelly's answer. What you were asking. To Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas, Cheyenne. My own me, and then Vegas.
I don't know what the my own me parts, but I
It's
can see
almost
that.
like Wyoming.
Austin, Texas, Cheyenne. Well, yeah, Cheyenne, Wyoming.
I think
Vegas.
you know there's some
That's
like
the only
Floyd.
Cheyenne that I know of.
Yeah.
But that's a big V right there.
So
We're close to there.
There is a Cheyenne in Oklahoma. I know that.
Yeah, you are very close to Cheyenne.
I am sick of Oklahoma right now.
What's wrong with Oklahoma?
We were about to chase tornadoes in Oklahoma.
Ah,
That's
why did you tell
fun.
me?
That's the fun part.
Why did you tell me? I could have gone.
My luggage was in the back of the truck. We have these two guys that look like rednecks, act like rednecks. We stop at Harbor Freight to get a tarp to cover the bed of the truck because it starts coming a downpour. These two rednecks, we ain't rednecks. We don't know what to do. I'm like, but you're supposed to know how to put a tarp on. So me and Lindy are trying to figure out tarps. Thankfully, Lindy is a redneck, so she could get the tarp up.
Now, Jeremy, those are the kind of people that you should use the Southern accent with.
No, they got that swamp accent because they from Tangipahoa Parish, and we don't know what to think about them Louisiana people.
I'm not touching that comment.
Yeah, neither. I got nothing.
Nope.
Yeah, I'm definitely not touching that.
Always bring Glade to an investigation. What the
I
hell
don't
is
We'll
Glade?
get the first person that goes, I smell something. Is that a demon?
I don't think Glade would have helped that situation. I promise you.
What the hell is Glade?
Glade air
plug-in
freshener.
Air
or
freshener.
the little car thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I didn't know
Air
that.
freshener.
Oh, Glade.
Air freshener.
Yeah, Kelly said she went to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Okay, see her daughter.
That's right down the road from me.
Just about.
Yeah.
So where's, other than this weekend, where's some big places y'all are investigating this year?
Don't know yet.
Well, we're trying to honestly, I mean, a few friends and I we're trying to go on some local investigations, some because I've been really wanting to try to get out there more often to investigate. And we're not just talking, like places like Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. There's a number of places I really wanted to check out, and we don't have specific dates yet, but we do plan on doing that sometime, hopefully by the end of May, sometime probably during the summer. I know we're going to be going to, even though I know we're supposed to go to Mansfield in a few months, I'm heading to Mansfield in just a few weeks to go to Parapsychon out in Mansfield, Ohio.
By the way, send me those dates. I'm going to see if my time is freed up again. It might not. I might be, I don't remember. I might be in Ballinger. I don't remember.
Yeah, because we have the Mansfield jail in August. Then also there's I think we're still going to Wildwood in June, are we, Nick?
Yes, we are. We are going to be going to Wildwood June 26th.
26?
Oh, wait, hang on. Let me just make sure of that. Give me 1 second here.
Well, that would be a Saturday.
I was going to say the 26th.
No, that would be a Sunday.
26th, that's my birthday.
Hang on.
That's a Sunday, isn't it?
Because Tom was the one who was giving me this information.
Yeah, because I thought it was the 23rd.
I thought it was. I might have got the dates mixed up. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here.
But I've been to Wildwood twice, and I've always enjoyed it there. And the Wildwood Cemetery is about 3/4 of a mile away from there. And the doctor that is said to haunt Wildwood Sanitarium is buried at that cemetery.
Well, this will be my first going to Wildwood, so I'm looking forward to this.
Clarissa, Wildwood is in Salamanca, New York. It's a 6-hour drive from me.
Now, interestingly enough, while we're there, I don't think we're going to be able to investigate it. But if you remember, Jeremy, Tom also told me that if given the chance, we might also have a possibility of checking out briefly the Hinsdale house because we're not going to be too far from Buffalo. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to investigate it because Tom told me that unfortunately that night it had already been reserved for an investigation, but Daniel Clays may still allow us to at least visit the house during the day. So at least we can, at least to say that we were there and all.
Well, I talk to Daniel every now and then, and I also know, or at least I did know the caretaker. I don't know if Angela is still the caretaker there or not, but I know her. And they've allowed me to stop by there and take a tour because I was coming home from Long Island and I didn't realize Hinsdale was like right there. So I sent a text to Daniel. I was like, "Hey, do you mind if I stop by there and walk around the house, take a couple of pictures?" He said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." I get there, I see Angel, and didn't realize that we were already Facebook friends. And she follows some of my stuff. And she offered to give me a tour inside the house. And I wasn't even expecting that. Okay. So that was really cool. And then she asked me if I wanted to check out the forest. And I had to pass on that one because I was really short on time. Because I had to be at Wildwood at a certain time, and I couldn't take any more time than I had already had. If I had another 5 minutes, and I would have been able to, because I really do want to check out that forest.
And this is right around near Wildwood.
Yeah, it was at the Hinsdale house when I took that.
The Hinsdale house. I'm sorry, I got okay, because I did remember hearing about that. It's not only just the Hinsdale house that's haunted; it's the woods themselves.
Yes. From what I have been told, the woods is actually worse haunting wise than the house is.
Yeah, because I actually remember, if you guys, I mean, this is actually an old show. Well, the show is still running, but this was one of the older episodes. If you guys remember that show, A Haunting, which is still, of course, now running officially, I think season 2, and that was back in 2005. They did an episode on the Hinsdale house, which they called it Dark Forest. Now, I don't, considering this was 2005 or 6, understandably, I don't think Daniel Clays owned the house at that time because they were interviewing the family that lived there back in the 70s. And, hence its name called Dark Forest. I think they were actually more focusing on the woods behind them instead of just
Thanks for joining us, Donald.
Hey, Rosie, good to see you.
Rosie's here.
Good to see you, Rosie. Donald said, got to run, guys. Work. All right, have a great night, Donald.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that show demonstrated, they were like mostly focusing on the wood areas than the house, and they were like, they even said what originally started in the woods was now happening to the house itself. So it just seemed like they were focusing more on the woods than the house.
Yeah. And also Daniel's been doing some renovation to the house as well. At least he was recently. And
Jeremy, just to confirm, yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. Yeah, it is June 23rd for me. I thought it was June 26th for some reason. It's June 23rd. We're going out to Wildwood.
You might be thinking the 26th because June 26th is my birthday.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah. So that's why I was thinking when you guys invited me to that, I thought that the timing was just perfect because I could go out there because I love doing something special for my birthday because I don't really celebrate it. And the last time I truly celebrated my birthday, I was at Waverly Hills.
Right. That's kind of funny too, how like it's ironic how, your last one was at Waverly Hills, at a sanatorium. And here we are in just less than 2 months from now going to another sanatorium to celebrate your birthday. It seems like you're
sanitarium this time.
Sanitarium.
Tells you where he belongs. Just saying.
I'm not going to argue with you on that one, I mean, after all, I do hang out with you, so I do belong in there.
Shelby, if you don't know, Haunting's still running. actually. I mean, it's a lot more different than what the original show was like format wise, and they kind of changed a few things. But other than that, Haunting is still running. Oh, Terry's here. Good to see you, Terry. Kelly's
Yeah, every time I turn one of those shows on, it's like, oh wow, I know that person.
Yeah,
What the hell?
I know, right? I remember when growing up watching the earlier shows, like everybody who was on, I mean, there would be like maybe one or two people I recognize. Like you guys remember in the earlier seasons, Lorraine Warren used to make frequent appearances on the show. And now you watch the show, now it's like, holy cow, I know like just about everybody on the show, except for the family. I know who's investigating, and I did that a few weeks ago. I took some photos. I'm like, hey, look who's on television.
It's so different. I mean, it's like, I know it wasn't until after the documentary came out that I even knew that there was a, paranormal world, I guess, because I was only in my own little environment. And then I got to, meet up with, Beth Allen, and made some really good friends in it. And now I'm like you. I mean, I'm sitting there watching episode 1 of A Ghost From My Life, and there's Shannon Rogers. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's one of my besties.
I was watching.
Then now you got this new show that's out, and it's got the SQs and Beth Allen in it, and you're like, those are my besties. What's up here?
It was so funny to watch, like the first I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes, at least for me. Knowing that it was like, because you first see Shannon Rogers, I'm like, holy cow! And I'm like sitting there with my parents, like, I know that person. That's Shannon. And then the second one,
person didn't come out of my mouth. There was another word that came out of my mouth.
I know exactly what that word was.
This actually kind of goes back to that question that was asked earlier about the paranormal being accepted as a normal aspect of life. And it's definitely headed in that direction because they're seeing this market here to do the TV shows.
Yeah.
So I think with that kind of awareness and exposure, it's going to help it become accepted. But the bad thing is the thing on TV, it's not exactly putting out the accurate information.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Everyone got to remember, it's for entertainment.
Yes.
You're in television to entertain people, and a lot of the people who are going to watch it have nothing to do with paranormal. And it's for, you're going to have I'm not going to say everything's going to go out there and just, don't get me wrong there. But some of those are supposed to have that factor in it for the people who aren't in paranormal.
Yeah. Thank you, Rosie.
I just wanted to give the shout out, for Skeleton Key Network. We did. Thank you for having us, Josh. Oh yeah, he adored Lorraine. I love Linda's.
She's very controversial.
For Jeremy, sure. You pirates.
I know. I keep getting comments about being a pirate.
Where's your bird?
Rosie's adoring your sunflowers, Adrienne.
Thank you. Zach, he said, you want me to make a background? I said, sure. That's what he come up with. So I like it.
Now it makes perfect sense because Zach had sent me a message asking me for those logos.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to say this to Shelby.
I didn't realize he was going to make that.
I'm just going to say this quickly to Shelby because it sounds like she hasn't really seen the new one. So, Shelby, if you're still on, very quickly, when the show started, they started around 2005 to 7, I think, on the Discovery Channel. Then Destination Truth picked it up in 2012. They revived it. That went on for a few years, and now it's on the Travel Channel.
I will actually see Shelby Saturday. Shelby is the only other member of Backroads Paranormal.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's just the 2 of us.
Nice to meet you.
Me too.
Eileen, it took you over an hour to introduce us to your only other member of the team.
I think I was protecting her.
No.
Hey, whatever happened with Fotis from Greece? I just noticed he's been gone for a while.
It was 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's true. It's 3 a.m. He probably fell asleep. Okay,
so he was either going to bed or he was going to work.
I'm still getting used to these other time differences.
Yeah.
Thoughts
But
on
that's awesome, though.
It
One, we had somebody from Greece watching the show,
Yeah.
and two, he was on Twitch.
Yep. What's thoughts on DF? What's
I'm glad
DF?
I'm not the only one that didn't
Is
get
that
that.
supposed to be Destination Fear?
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
that might
Destination
be it.
Fear.
Down
Yeah.
there it says I'm friends with Dakota. It's
Okay, I think
entertaining.
that's what
No.
it is.
I don't
Um,
watch that. I have nothing against Dakota. I've talked to him. I just don't. I don't watch it.
Well, Jeremy, you and we met him in person at DeadCon.
we did very briefly, and I have watched a lot of their shows from the first season. I actually liked it. I was entertained by it, but I still would like to know what the whole purpose of the show is.
Right.
I like the premise of it where they don't know where they're going until they get there.
Right.
I
Kelly.
like that.
What's
I
going
like
on?
how it's just a bunch of really like just college kids that are just taking their time to go out to these places, and you don't really see very many like. I mean, if you look back, like I would say Destination Fear is kind of like a throwback to some of those older paranormal shows where you had college and high school kids participating in paranormal investigations, and you just don't really see that as much anymore. So I think Destination Fear is kind of like that, a throwback type of show.
It
Well,
could
that's like-
be.
Thanks.
I was
What's
taught.
this?
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah,
What's going on with Kelly there? Did somebody say something that I
that's
missed?
what I was
or-
going to ask y'all about.
Let's see. Sorry, guys. You seen that message with that? Oh, okay. I don't know what to say about that.
Was it a message? It was on here.
I don't know. I'm looking through the chat right now.
Kelly, message one of us, please.
Yeah. I don't know what that is. But while we're waiting, though, I gotta say, though, I mean, like, just like what Josh is saying, I remember when we met him at DeadCon. I mean, he and his crew, they were actually really nice and like great to chat with. I mean, for us, me and Tom, we actually got to chat with them for like probably about a good 5 minutes. I mean, they were like just really easygoing guys. I mean, people to chat with.
I love watching. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've never watched any of the shows, but I'm going to tell you, I love watching the shows to find new locations.
Yeah.
More so than anything. That was one of the conversations Mustafa and I had this weekend. We were sitting there talking about something. He said something about ghost hunters. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't watch the shows. And I mean, because I really don't. I watch them like when I'm trying to sleep, and if I'm trying to find a new location, I'll go through some of the old episodes, but it has nothing to do with the shows themselves. It makes me want to go investigate so bad where I end up being so disappointed.
Shelby just
Miss Emery's, where are you from?
Shelby says, yeah, she's right on that too. Destination Fear has that Paranormal State vibes to it. Yep, that's another classic example from the early 2000s paranormal shows. I'm still in high school when that came out.
Shut up.
And the thing about Destination Fear is it introduced me to a couple of new locations that I'd never heard of, like Sweet Spring Sanitarium. I had never heard of that until that show.
Mm-hmm. And then if you go to the really old episodes, some of those aren't as expensive as they were for the new people on the episodes.
Yeah. Well, I've actually been collecting recently. I've made, just personal copies of this. Somebody on YouTube has been uploading a lot of the older paranormal shows that used to air on the Travel Channel. And when I mean old paranormal shows, I'm talking again early 2000s, late 90s. So we're talking we're talking about pre-Ghost Adventures era, before Ghost Adventures took over. And it's amazing to me how in the last 20 years or so, like one of the shows like that used to air on the Travel Channel, they don't really air it anymore. It was I don't know if you guys remember that show, Haunted Hotels. Mm-hmm. You guys remember that one? I like it because it wasn't like an investigation type show. It was one of those type of paranormal shows where you just had a few people get together, tell the history, tell the ghost stories. They did these fantastic dramatizations and reenactments of like the historical stuff. I mean, yes, it's all computer animated, but they actually make these actors look like real ghosts. But it's not only just the effects and the stories, but they focus on like different hotels that, you know, in this day and age, you probably would never even heard of. So I literally had to comment on this guy who uploaded these old shows. And I was like, dude, you're a legend putting these up, because I think these have been all forgotten, you know, by a lot of us in the paranormal community. Now we could start to try to get our focus to some of these other locations that you can kind of say have been forgotten now over the last 20 years. So, you know, knock on wood for this guy to upload them.
Yep.
The first paranormal show that I watched, it was called Scariest Places on Earth.
Yes, I remember that one too. That was a good one.
I thought that was really awesome watching what they did. But I'll be honest, I don't think I could ever go to any kind of a location with those big get-ups that they had.
I know they had like the chest camera.
I don't think I could ever wear anything like that.
That looked really heavy, and it's like you kind of wondered, like, how do they? Because these are like they would bring in families, like entire families, like a group of 4 or 5 people, and you kind of have to wonder to yourself, like, can you actually trust these people? You know, wearing all this stuff, because this is something they've never done before. This was obviously these were places that they weren't really familiar with, considering that they were in the dark. But the one thing that kind of irritated me about that show, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but the one thing that irritated me was anytime something would happen, they would show actions of their faces, and you never be able to get to see the evidence, even though they may have captured it. You just saw them screaming on camera.
Now, what I will say, another good thing about watching some of the old stuff is I'm starting to get away from the new techie equipment and trying to go back old school. And as Nick would put, back in the old days, you know, just using like some of the stuff that you don't use anymore, the compass, different things, and just go back to that. Because now one thing that I do worry about when you're with a big group of people is all of our phones and technology messing with so much equipment that if you go back old school, it's not gonna mess. Yeah, I love my compass. So, and Facebook user, Nick's back in the old days. It's like 5 years ago. So
is that Chantel? I bet that's Chantel still.
Well, the sad thing is, I'm not going to speak for Eileen, but you know, the good old days, I can fondly recall good old days now. So.
Well, you know, the thing is, with a lot of the tools, again, unlike the old days, we didn't
back in the old days when we used GoPros.
We didn't have to rely on our phones for some of these, you know, paranormal tools, because you know, there's all these crazy phone apps now that they made, and a lot of them, unfortunately, are just complete ripoffs. I mean, in my opinion, there's only, and I got them right here on the phone, there's only 5 that I think are actually legit. Like the ones I've used, which also you got to pay for. I use the EchoVox, the Spiritus, the Necrophonic, the Sono X10, and the EVP shifter. Other than that, the other ones are fake.
Now, I'll tell you, before I use any equipment, and I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't ever use any up-to-date equipment, because it just really depends on the environment. But anytime, like when I got my EDI Plus, the first thing I did, I plugged it in, I put the batteries in it, put it on my mantle, let it sit there literally until the batteries died, because I wanted to know what it did when the battery when it was dying. I want to know every little detail.
Joshua, maybe at a sleepover.
See, now Nick's back in the old days would be when you had to pay per text message. That's his back in the old days.
Hey, back in the old
The
days, my sister
razor
got.
flip phone. He probably doesn't even remember the razor flip phone.
Hey, back in the old days, my sister actually got an Ouija board as a birthday present. I'm not even joking. She actually got it. Yeah, she actually got it for like her ninth. I think it was her ninth birthday that she got it, and so yeah, definitely back in the old days. And that was also back in the days when they used to sell them at Toys R Us. And it's like, I remember she got it, and none of us knew what an Ouija board was. It was the one where it said the mysterious, mystifying game, and none of us ever played it. And then a couple years later, by the time I got in middle school, my dad had rediscovered it, and it's been in my room ever since. It's like 15 years, and it's still in great shape, actually.
Now, Adrienne and I remember K&B Toys. What you talking about?
Toys R Us doesn't exist anymore, so that's why it's in the old days.
Emily, yeah, Terry would be awesome to help you, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents here. A recorder, a camera.
Yep.
Good.
That's it.
Maybe a cat ball.
Cat balls are awesome.
Right here.
Now, speaking of Ouija boards, speaking of Ouija boards, I do have to tell y'all, Shelby makes me laugh, and I make her show it to me every time. This crazy fool, and of course I would associate with crazy fools, has a Ouija board tattooed on her stomach.
Oh, here, Jeremy. There you go. The flashlight, like you said.
I know a guy that has a Ouija board tattooed on his chest.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. I actually have a Ouija board keychain that's attached to a backpack of mine.
See, what's weird about Shelby is I'm surprised she has enough stomach to put the Ouija board on it, because she's like this big around.
So is that where somebody would put a planchette then if they wanted to communicate?
I haven't even asked where that is. So,
I just had this crazy thought. If they did a Ouija board tattoo on their stomach, they could use the belly button for the little glass piece.
yeah, I don't think I've ever paid that close
That could be the
Don't
goodbye.
listen to me, folks. I'm full of nothing but bad ideas.
Yeah,
Don't do it, Shelby. Don't do it.
That would probably actually be pretty
Good
painful.
voice recorders. Emery's, I'm going to tell you, if I could find one in an old pawn shop somewhere, the one with the actual tape is what I would get.
I was actually thinking about getting one of those because you can get one on you can get them on Amazon still, and there's a number of them. I don't know if they're made in this day and age, but some of them are still in great shape. Like the one that I'm interested in getting is like only about $45, so it's pretty cheap. And the tape and the little tape cassettes too are just like, I think those are like $10 each. You can get like a pack of 5 of them, so they're pretty. I've been really wanting to try out an old tape. I mean, because I got the digital one, but I definitely want to go even older fashioned.
I'd like to compare the two, have both of them together and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I'll be
Yeah,
getting
that would
mine
be
soon,
great.
so hopefully one day we can try it out.
I won't.
It's Amazon
say
Prime.
where I
Yeah,
know
you can
I
get
have
these on Amazon.
tattoo.
Like I said, I mean, there's no really, I mean,
Yeah,
there
we're
are
not
some
gonna get
really
into that
good,
one.
expensive equipment, but there really is no sense in spending thousands of dollars. And then now you've got people like, okay, so I was trying to replace my cat balls. If you're buying cat balls, please don't buy it because it says ghost hunting cat balls.
No,
Yeah.
don't use those.
Buy
ones.
cat balls. And I do shop at Ghost Stop and all that too. But in the same token, I mean, I've
When
got
there's $20 difference for the same thing, yeah, there's a problem.
Yep.
yeah.
It definitely is.
I mean, and then now you've got people like Parapals who are trying, because they are ghost investigators or paranormal investigators, they're trying to figure out how to make equipment that works that we can afford without breaking the bank. And you've got to, hats off to the people who can actually do stuff like that.
I just sent the Amazon link for the tape recorder. I did not realize it was going to go to every single network.
That's okay.
Whoops.
Well, at least,
There you go.
no
There
matter
you
which platform you look at it, you got the link now.
It says an error occurred.
Wherever
Wait a
you go.
moment and try again. Whoops.
No, it's there. Trust me. It's
Oh,
all
you
there.
guys can see it because over here it says an error occurred. Wait a moment, then try again.
Well, I'm going to say
Yeah.
this. I don't want to get us taken off the air first show, but I'm going to say this. There is one ghost equipment place that you don't want to shop. You want to know who that is? You message me because I'll certainly tell you, and I'll tell you he's taken thousands and thousands of dollars from a lot of people. I'm one of them.
I remember who
We're
that
in a
is.
group right now getting ready to sue.
Yep, I remember who that is.
I think I know who that is.
I have been hearing about that for months.
I almost purchased something from there, and I'm so glad you told me when you did, because that would have been cash I would have never seen again. That would have been it.
See, that's the thing that I'm so leery about having to go to, like, I got nothing against Ghost Stop or any of those people. I get why they're doing what they do. I get it. I understand it. There is a marketable need for that.
Yep.
But me personally, I like to buy stuff that is not catered to the paranormal because I know that it is not being compromised in any way.
Well,
Right.
I will vouch for Parapals because I do have Boozy, and everybody knows I love. If anybody follows me at all, I love my Boozy. Boozy even travels with me anytime I go to a hotel room. And I love Boozy because it's a stuffed animal, but it's also a REM pod. So it kind of doubles as a trigger object for children.
I got the same thing. It's a Care Bear.
No, but see,
Oh,
my
the Boo
Boozy's
Buddy,
better.
Yeah.
Boozy's better. Boozy's my buddy.
You haven't seen Grumpy yet.
I'll go get Boozy and we'll talk.
Oh,
Boozy got something spilled
see,
on him.
mine doesn't. This one here is just a regular REM pod.
I think he like went and partied a little too much, and he got a bad hair dye because he's got a red streak down his back now.
So is that why his name is Boozy, because he drank too much?
Hello, have you met his owner?
I
Joshua,
would be the
are you
least bit
freezing up, or are
surprised.
you saying we are?
Oh, Terry said she needs a Boozy link.
Look up, either contact Donald Martin or Parapals.
Hey,
No, I
Joshua,
gotta see.
who's freezing up?
It's not me.
Because nobody is freezing up on me.
I am freezing.
Is anybody else
Nobody's
seeing
freezing up on
us
my
freeze?
side.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I gotta say this, and this was actually in regards to what I was saying about the like the paranormal phone apps. I think I probably have told some of you guys about this before, but the one thing that really bothers me too, again, with the exception of the apps that I got, the ones that like a lot of people are using.
Wi-Fi.
Oh, so okay. The one thing that always bothers me is like everyone always believes like the ghost radar and stuff is not real. There was one occasion I do remember. This was 10 years ago, so I still remember like this was yesterday. We investigated Bobby Mackey's Music World, which I'm sure you guys have been there before, and
No.
you haven't been there. Jeremy, have you been there?
I've been there one time.
Okay, Eileen, yep. Okay, so I still remember we truly believe we believed all the stories about the demonic and whatnot, and the entire time that we were there, which by the way, if you guys ever do go there, I would say definitely go during the fall, winter or spring, because when it was the middle of August. There's no AC in that place. It was humid, and it was
welcome
hot
to
in that
Mississippi.
building. Well, this place was like literally a sauna. I mean, we went up to the room like where Carl used to live in, and that had to have been the worst room I think I've ever. We could not be in that room longer than 10 minutes. It was a sauna, but
That's Louisville, Kentucky. That's not humid compared to
if this place was, you'd be
Louisiana,
surprised.
Mississippi.
I was there at the end of May a couple of years ago, and oh man, it was so hot. And
Yep.
going up into the apartment,
Right?
that was horrible.
See, Jeremy knows. I felt that, and it was terrible.
I used to live there. It is not that bad.
It
But
was
anyways,
that
we were doing. the entire time that we were there, this so-called demonic activity. I mean, here's the best way I could really just say about this place. Maybe back in the old days, there probably was something that did occur. Like I don't know, but when we were there, the only thing that ever happened to us was, again, being so high, we had this cool breeze that went by, and that was it. There was nothing else. But the one part that annoyed me was one of the. Well, I don't even know if she was really an investigator. I think she was just there because she was a friend of one of the other investigators. She was using the Ghost Radar app, and she believed that she was getting all these responses. And I just really wanted to step in and like, you're not getting responses, right? That's actually fake. I didn't want to make it look like I was a jerk and try to ruin it for her, but I wanted to be honest, but I never even had the chance to tell her.
That's probably a good thing.
I got a funny one for you, Nick.
Oh God,
So,
what is that?
So we were there in the pool section, and my ex and I were doing a spirit box session, but she wanted to do it, and I was like, okay, we'll do it. So something actually came through the spirit box and called me a jackass. Okay. I said, that's right, I am a jackass.
Before I run off, it was me, sorry.
Go on, Jeremy.
I was like, that's right, I am a jackass. How you doing? Oh man, she got the biggest kick out of that. And where we were doing the spirit box session, this is something that I've heard from a lot of people. At Bobby Mackey's, they keep saying that the portal is actually there in that well down there in the basement.
Yep, the well.
But I've had a lot of people say that is incorrect, that if there is a portal, it is there in the far corner in the pool room.
Right.
And that was where we were doing the spirit box session.
Okay. That does make a lot more sense because the time that when we checked out the well ourselves, it just felt like it was just an empty room. There was just nothing. We didn't see or feel or hear anything. We didn't even get any vibes or anything in that room.
It's a lot like all the rest of them that are so hyped up, like the Stanley.
Yeah.
It's so hyped up, you expect when you walk in, I guess it's so hyped up that you expect people to be walking in the hallways and touching you.
Yeah, I know.
And you're not going to get nothing when you expect all that.
See, that's why I was saying before, like, if there ever was anything actually like demonic wise at all in Bobby Mackey's, it's gone now. Like they actually probably did, like, the exorcism that took place, that probably extinguished all of that. So if there was something there previously, it's not there anymore. It's gone. It's just the more benign entities that are there.
I would say if there was anything there, honestly, it was not demonic. It was just something that was malevolent.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that you said that more negative wise. It's just because there were a lot. Because I do remember hearing there were a lot of deaths that occurred, prior before Bobby Mackey opened it. So
and everybody screams demon every time they turn around.
It's always demon. Yeah, I know it is. Just because somebody is possessed does not mean it's always a demon. In fact, the exorcism that took place, they said that they did get the name of the entity, and it was Alonzo Walling, who was one of the killers of Pearl Bryant. So that definitely means that even if he was, Alonzo Walling supposedly was a Satan worshiper, that still means, though, that he was a human, not a demon.
Right. I can't let this one go. Joshua, boy.
Yeah, what the hell?
You are 50 years old. You know better than that. Stop
Come
that.
on, Josh.
You a redneck. Are you going to the woods?
Probably the tree in the backyard.
Boozy's mom.
I'm surprised there was no racehorse behind that.
Every time somebody tells me that, I'm like, I don't need to know.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Just in case you fall in, we know you're there. We know this.
But here's the thing: how many times have we all been either on video chat or cell phone with each other and say, "Hey, you're going to the bathroom with me"? Every one of y'all done it because I do it a million times too. A lot of y'all.
Not me. I'm like, hey, I'll be back in a minute, or I would just simply put myself on mute so you don't even hear it.
Nope. You're going to the bathroom with me. If we're good enough to talk that long, you go in the bathroom with me. It's a human bodily function. We all do it.
She said backyard. Sorry. Oh my God.
That's my boy.
Hey, you know what?
Thanks for letting us
I'm that
know.
redneck, but I let's not, in case you fall in. We know where you're at. Okay, we got that, but
see, Jeremy.
Emery's makes a good point here.
Boozy got a little drunk.
Yeah, I see that red streak now. I thought. Oh yeah, that is the back. That is the back.
Possession is now restricted to demons, spirits, and other entities. Entities can possess people too. That's absolutely right.
Yes. Yes.
Paranormal walk. Let's see. Paranormal Lockdown opened my eyes on some stories. I don't know what that
Now
is.
I have seen a couple episodes of that. I actually enjoyed it.
I did actually enjoy that one.
The one that really got my attention was, again, the episode that they did at Waverly when they put the thermal imaging camera on the drone.
Yeah,
that entire building on thermal. That was awesome.
That was great, and you don't see that very often. I mean, there's been a few times where I've seen some other shows do that, and most of the time they usually do it for at least from what I've seen. The times that they have done it was usually mostly for cryptid hunts, like they're searching for Bigfoot or something like that. But for like an actual haunted location like Waverly Hills, which is something I've never seen them use for a location like that, it's pretty smart.
Mm-hmm.
That we've used them for cryptids, so why not use it on a building like that?
Now, was it Emery's? I'm sorry if I've spelled. Where's Emery's from?
He's fixing to move to, what do you say, Alabama?
Well, she said she was moving to Leeds, Alabama.
All right, where from now? Because she says she's never gone on an investigation. I am right here in Mississippi, so when you get to Alabama, you are more than welcome to come tag along sometimes.
Leeds, Alabama. It's actually in a tri-county located in Jefferson, St. Clair, and Shelby counties. It's an eastern suburb of Birmingham.
Okay, so yeah, I'm roughly an hour south of Meridian, which is where I go across to get over to Birmingham. Oh, and
Irondale, Alabama.
I only said
it's a guy.
I went by Nick.
See, I
said he. I knew better than listen to Nick. He doesn't know anything. So,
I saw the picture earlier, so
I can't see us like that small. But yeah, come on over. We've got the if you're making the move anytime soon, October 22nd, we're going to be in Kosciuszko, Mississippi, doing the Old Southern Funeral Home and the Old Itala County Jail.
And that's the day that we're doing the Pearl Unity event in Peru, Indiana.
I got that.
Yeah. I know Nick is looking forward to that one.
Oh my God. And for the first time ever, I'm actually going to be dressing up as my character, the Scary Stories host, to read scary stories. And Jeremy, I will have to tell you this, so I don't know if they're going to sound as intense because I don't have the sound effects and music with me this time. But I'll still be a good reader.
No, I'm sure that we can make that happen, though.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
It's good to know he's actually friends with Skeleton Key because they're all out of Alabama, right?
Yeah, they are.
So, okay, he's covered.
Well, Robin is not. She lives in Iowa. But Terry, Jess, Jonasia, they're all in Alabama.
Okay.
So is Emery's. Because said he's in Irondale right now, and I looked up how far that was from where he's moving. Irondale is also in Jefferson County, so it's in central Alabama, and it's another suburb of Birmingham.
We won't hold it against you that you're over on that side, that your state's just flipped the opposite from mine, but that's okay.
I don't know if Zach's still watching, but I'm fixing to get in a lot of trouble.
He said he's moving this. I guess it's this Sunday. It just says the move is actually Sunday.
So all y'all need to actually come over to on October 27th. It's going to be Beth Allen, myself, Shannon Rogers, Ray Savino, and of course, those crazy people who manage locations. Something they go by the name like Donald and Rebecca Martin or something. I know we're all going to be at that location.
Too bad Donald wasn't watching when you said that.
He'll watch it later.
Getting the whole bunch of you together all in one location, that spells nothing but trouble to me.
Oh no! The fifth event over in Ballinger is going to be Ray Savino, Shannon Rogers, Tiffany Chestnut, Todd and Leanne Eskew, Beth Allen, and myself.
Damn.
Wow. That sounds like the perfect crew.
Yes, and Shelby will be there Saturday too. Or no, you'll be there October 22nd, or are you going to Ballinger, Shelby?
And so what is this event again? Eileen, I kind of lost track of what it was called. No, I heard all the details. I can't remember what it was called.
My name. Okay, which one?
The one that you were talking about on the 22nd of October.
That is at the old now you got me confused. The old Southern Funeral Home and the old Italic County Jail. Those two locations in Kosciuszko are literally about a mile apart from each other.
Okay.
And the Martins manage both locations.
Nice.
And it's like literally, you can go literally within 2 miles, the funeral home, the jail, their house.
Really?
Wow. That's quite a.
You can't get more convenient than that.
Well, it doesn't help that Kosciuszko is like this big to where you could go from this point of Kosciuszko to this in probably about 3 miles.
Facebook, your funeral home.
Okay, so it's just a tiny town then.
Chantel, is that you or is this somebody else using
that is actually Bud Steed. Hey, Bud.
Bud. Okay.
So it's such a small town. I joke with Rebecca. The Walmart has one entrance.
One entrance at a Walmart? Seriously?
Hey, Nick, once upon a time, there used to be only one entrance to a Walmart.
Back in the old days.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Because we got because in our grocery store that I work at, we got 3 of them.
Back in the day when Nick was 3 years old, which was about 5 years ago, but okay.
Well, I mean, I was 23. Well, 24, actually.
Bye, Adrienne.
You're going to get something to eat?
Going to a client's mother's.
I don't know.
Give a reading. Wow.
And another pretty exciting thing that's happening in October. This will be October 28th, 29th, and 30th in Fort Wayne. We're planning on having a new convention called Horror Fest.
Oh, is that right?
Wait, hold on. What'd you say?
Horror Fest.
Okay.
Horror Fest.
Okay.
Horror, Eileen.
Hey, I only have half of a working mouth right now.
That's why I had to go back in.
Yeah. So anybody knows about DeadCon from last year? There was a lot of controversy behind what went on behind the scenes there. So now there's 3 of us on a committee that is putting together this thing called Horror Fest, and we are one email away, I believe, from locking down a location, and it's going to be a pretty fun event. Looking at booking some actors to come out and this, that, and the other.
Do you know when in October? When in October it's supposed to be?
28th, 29th, and 30th.
Okay, so right before Halloween. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I asked is that's actually, it's funny that you mentioned, these 2 events. We're actually trying to put together a Paracon of our own here for Chicago. Although we might be doing it a month beforehand. You know what, Jeremy, that was, because I always keep forgetting for some reason. That was the event that we were going to try to put together for Schurz High School. So, my dad recently did contact one of the people that was there. He's actually the guy that, had on most occasions had usually got us into the school to do investigations. So, but right now, unfortunately, he hasn't really heard from him yet. So, if worst comes to worst, the day that we had chosen was going to be September 17th, but that could possibly change probably sometime in late September, early October, which I'm actually, honestly, I hope that does happen, because September 17th is also when SilCon happens out in Mattoon, Illinois, which I've gone to previously. It's like in the central part of the state.
Okay.
You mean Illinois?
Horror Fest will be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And Emory's, yes, there are a lot of paranormal conventions.
Oh my God, Emory's, there's so many of them. I mean, there's a lot that I think we'd all love to attend, but sometimes it gets kind of difficult. And I'll say this, Emory's too. I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen, they're starting to do paranormal cons out now in different parts of Europe.
I hate that. The one thing I really hate is that a lot of things with paranormal kind of stuff kind of goes around Halloween, and it stinks because Halloween is my son's birthday, so I am like one of the only investigators who can't do anything for Halloween. Like his birthday is literally on Halloween.
I do Halloween / scary movie marathons for the entire month.
Me too. That makes two of us.
Hey,
and on Halloween night, it is always the same two movies: Killer Clowns from Outer Space and the TV version of Halloween.
Yes.
Every Halloween since my son was probably about 4 years old, it's Ghostbusters. Every Halloween.
There's one movie in particular that there's never an October or Halloween that passes without me watching it. And that is and I'm talking about the original one, Night of the Living Dead.
That's one thing I can't do. I cannot do zombies.
You can't do that one? That's like the best one.
I can sit there and watch someone get their head and all their limbs chopped off and go straight to sleep and have sweet dreams. You made me watch a zombie movie and I can't sleep.
Well, did you know that, however, when they originally released Night of the Living Dead back in 1968, they were originally not meant to be called zombies, because you never hear them use the term zombie, because George A. Romero had always looked at zombies as in the voodoo traditions, because they're called zombies in voodoo, in the voodoo stories. So he practically called them just things. They were supposed to be unidentified human hybrids. I mean, like human like creatures that were just revived, but they weren't really called zombies. It wasn't until 10 years later, when Dawn of the Dead came out, was when you heard the term zombie being used for these creatures.
It is so bad. I can be sound asleep for hours. Somebody turn a zombie movie on, and I instantly go into nightmare mode.
Really?
Jeremy, when we go down to Mississippi, we need to show Eileen Night of the Living Dead.
No. I don't know what it is. It's like when I was a kid.
Which version?
Something
the original one.
Something affected me because, like, even when I was a kid, and just, I mean, I can't watch Jaws, and I am scared to death of sharks because what did I think? I couldn't take a bath. I had to take a shower because I thought a shark was going to come out of a faucet this big when I was like a really little kid. Which is
Jeremy,
probably
scratch that. We're showing Jaws.
Well, if there is a shark that could fit through the drain and come up into your bathtub, I'm pretty sure you don't have anything to worry about. That's not even the size of a pool.
No, what's funny is I could sit there, I could go to sleep in the tub after watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
You live in Mississippi. Snakes come up your toilet. Alligators can come up your toilet. There's more danger of you getting bit on the butt than a shark.
I literally slept in a waterbed right after watching Nightmare on Elm Street. Went to sleep in a bathtub. Didn't faze me. But don't give me a shark.
And that, Adrienne, is why you're supposed to flush often.
Yeah.
And that's why you have the self-closing toilets, because that way the toilet automatically closes.
What happened? Closing isn't the issue. It comes up from underneath.
Oh, yes. The extra.
I got reptiles on it. I don't have snakes, but I do have reptiles myself.
The Exorcist gave her no.
You
Oh
have
yeah,
things that you know of that are.
Yeah, I can
right now.
definitely see The Exorcist.
Oh my
There
God, that
were a
movie is
lot
so-
of people that were scared of that movie.
Oh, there was like people who said that they actually had to go into like therapy after they saw that movie. It freaked them out so bad. You guys,
And you know what? When you think about it, for the time period, I could see that happening.
did you guys ever see, because you can find this on YouTube, where you could find like old like footage of like when it first came out, and it showed like people's reactions of like how they felt after they saw the movie. And there was people like crying, and some actually fainted. It was so bad
Yeah.
for them. And there was actually one comment that I think that kind of gave me chills. They say this footage literally is much more creepier than the movie, because what you're seeing is the real thing. Like
Right.
people actually scared to death, like having heart attacks.
Now, the one
very.
scene about The Exorcist that got me was the spider walk going down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and on top of that, just a few days ago, I got a new movie. It's an independent film. It's called The Exorcism of God.
Okay.
And what it is, this guy is being haunted by a demon that is disguising itself as Jesus being possessed.
Wow.
And I know it's a really weird concept, but it was fresh because I had
Right.
never heard of anything like that. But one of the scenes, the guy that was haunted, he is seeing these possessed people all over the place. And down this one hallway, there was somebody doing that spider walk coming right at him.
Paying homage to the original Exorcist.
Exactly. That was exactly how I took it.
I just
Nope.
realized I gave Nick and Jeremy ammunition by telling my childhood fears.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, messed
it's
up on
funny
that one.
again with the Exorcist, you know, like how I brought up, you know, earlier, right when we started the show, Adrienne, how I said I had Cheeseman Park on at one of the presentations.
Yeah.
Well, of course, obviously, no paranormal presentation collection is complete without the real life exorcism that I got of Roland Doe. But, and I'm not going to say too much, but I've actually added some trivia facts with the movie too. So you're going to see some stuff that you guys probably never even knew about with that movie. Not only just the real exorcism, but the movie itself.
The entire series is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the entire series minus the heretic one. That one was terrible. I mean, I'm right?
Well, they went from horror to drama.
That's kind of like what the secondary one was. And when they made Exorcist 3, it kind of went back to the original Exorcist movie because it was more serious. So that's why I mean it's definitely a much more worthier sequel than the Heretic one.
Well, that was kind of what they did with Alien.
Yep.
Because the original Alien, that was a straight out horror movie. And then when they made the second one, that was more of an action.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't. I mean, it was still a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah,
it didn't feel as scary to me as the first one. In fact, my mom, she told me she saw the original one back when it first came out in 1979, and she said it freaked her and her friends the hell out. I don't know if they saw the second one, you know, when it came out a few years later, but actually, I'm sure you guys remember this scene from this movie. I mean, from that movie was when Bill Paxton, it was like, the hell are we going to do now? What are we going to do? Like, they even added some, like, comedy to it.
Mm-hmm. Exorcism of Emily Rose, if I'm not mistaken, that was actually based off an actual possession.
That was based off of the Exorcism of Anneliese Michel, if I'm correct. That was out in Germany back in 1977.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it is.
And the girl ended up dying. I think she was like 24 when she died.
Yeah, she was in her early 20s. She was only 23, 24. Yeah, 23, 24 years old when she died, and it was quite a horrific death because you see, like, especially what she looked like right before she died. I think she like only weighed like 70 pounds. She was like horrifically emaciated.
Yep. They said that her official cause of death was malnutrition, and they said that even a week before she died, her life could have still have been saved.
Yeah. And that was like, and that
We have
became
one of our
just,
friends actually doing an exorcism right now
oh,
from
really?
the Catholic Church. Yep.
Wow.
No.
Terry Wilson should do
He's
it.
on one right now.
Terry, I'm already ahead of you. I do have a slideshow for the original Exorcist, and like I said, I'm also going to talk about the real life exorcism. Which, by the way, I wasn't able to get inside, but I was actually at the actual house where they performed They always switch it between Maryland and St. Louis, Missouri. I was able to figure that out. I guess it was actually 2 locations, and we were able to get to the real Exorcist house in the St. Louis one. We weren't, unfortunately, understandably, we weren't able to get inside because even over 70 years later, it's still a private residence. So you can take pictures outside, you just can't go inside.
Now, how far are you from St. Louis?
Considering I'm from Chicago to St. Louis, it's about a good 6.5 hours.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It would be like St. Louis would be literally about 6.5 hours to the southeast of us because it's literally right next to the Missouri-Illinois border.
Okay, you see this, right?
Yeah.
It is legit blind. Now, it is a little dyed right now, but it is still legit blind. So when we were traveling, I was like, ooh, we got this much further left to go. Okay, so there's a reason I'm not normally the driver.
Haunting in Connecticut too. Oh, I think he's mentioning about the actual haunted house in Connecticut.
And Nick, I do have to tell you, that entire series that you did on Amityville, phenomenal.
Oh my God,
that was phenomenal work that you did on that one.
I really do appreciate that, and it was. I honestly did not expect that I was going to make it a 2 parts, 3 parts, let alone 2. Like, holy cow. I'm like, I even was thinking as I was going through it in my head, I'm like, holy cow, I still got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I told you you'd probably have to do 2 parts. And then when you got towards the end of the second one, you still had a lot. And I was like, oh boy, that means you're going to do a part 3.
Yeah, Terry agrees. Yeah, I actually have to admit that was probably my favorite slideshow. I think it's probably no wonder why Amityville literally became the first haunted house case I ever studied at a young age. I mean, there's something, I don't know what it is. There's just some connection I have with Amityville for some reason than any other location.
The thing is, Amityville is so iconic.
Yeah.
Whether if it's true or not, fake, fact, either way, it doesn't matter. It left its mark on not only the paranormal field, but in human history.
Right. Especially those who lived out in, who live out in Long Island, New York.
Yes. So that house has its place in history, no matter which angle you look at it, from a historical factor, from a paranormal factor, or from a criminal factor.
I honestly, that was, and I'll tell you guys right now, that entire series that I did, I mean, that was all from a document that I've spent years putting it together. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have said in the beginning that I was basically going to tell the story about the Amityville, but in a way that literally bringing up stuff that you guys have never heard before. And I think I really surprised a number of people.
In those shows, the hard work that you put into it showed.
Yep. I actually have the original book right here. Like I always do. Like I always like to present. So
I definitely do want to read that book sometime. In fact, I just watched that movie a couple days ago.
The original one, right?
The original
not the
movie.
remake. Okay.
I don't even have the remake. I've never seen the remake.
The remake, they gave that to me a few years ago. And again, that was when, as much as no one likes the remake, of course, I don't really like it either. Other than the fact that Ryan Reynolds was in it long before he did Deadpool. I've always described that movie as this was Ryan Reynolds before he became Ryan Reynolds.
Well, this is what I like about how they do the casting, because when you take somebody who's normally like a drama actor or a comedy actor, and you put them in a horror setting, like what they did with Robin Williams with
Yeah.
1 Hour Photo,
Yep.
that is creepy.
Oh
Because
yeah. It
you're
definitely
watching
is.
somebody who has made you laugh and laugh and laugh, and now all of a sudden they are in this scary movie where they are the creeper.
Yep.
That does something to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I just gotta say quickly, I like Terry's comment saying you've ever read Amityville.
I haven't read the book. No.
Well, did you guys know that when they made the remake, I mean, again, like what Josh just said, the remake sucked, yes, but where they shot it was actually not too far from my house because Silver Lake, because they shot part of it in Silver Lake, Wisconsin. That's only just an hour away from me. And then they actually shot some other areas, like when they were not shooting at the house, they shot some of those areas literally like in downtown Chicago and some of the neighboring areas. And I'm saying, and when I mean neighboring areas, it was like literally like 20 minutes away from me. So if I knew a lot more back then, and if we were actually out, I probably would have ran into the cast and crew of that remake when they were shooting it.
Wow.
But the remake, as bad as it was, that's what got me introduced to the Amityville Horror. That's when I started learning it. And not long after that, that's when I bought the original movie along with the 2 other films that followed and a documentary that was made. And they even had it was in a box set, and they actually had a free ticket in which I could have gone to see the remake in theaters, but I was under 17 then. I couldn't see an R-rated movie back then.
So what? 2 years ago.
No, that was 2000. That was 2000.
Well, now wait a minute, Eileen. You were saying 5 years ago he was only 4 at the time.
Oh, because he's got the little age jumping thing. He time travels, so
So is this a curious case of Benjamin Button here?
He just goes forwards, backwards, and forwards, backwards.
I wish I could do
nice.
that.
We are at 2 hours now.
Almost 2 hours. Got 2 minutes left.
I know.
Okay, I'm fixing to get killed because while I was on the show, I kind of got a guinea pig, and I was told no this morning, and I just got a message that they're bringing him.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure you don't want to stay on the show so we can witness Zach killing you? Avoid that moment.
I told him he has a spider, this big, a spider.
Is it a tarantula?
Oh my gosh.
18 years old. 18 years old.
18 years
You
old?
know that when those
Really?
things get old, there's a place on their back that looks like skin and turns into a rose-looking thing. It's disgusting.
Wow,
Okay, now
I didn't
see-
think tarantulas
Okay, I
were
am
that
getting a
long.
hotel in Colorado.
In the house we're about to get, tell you the age of the house. Nick is before your time. It's got the fish tank in the wall, and that's what everybody's wanting us to
love
put a tarantula
Oh, my.
in the fish tank. Because you haven't put no water in it, but
All right, Joshua, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. He wants the pictures.
I'll send it to you. It's crazy. I didn't know they did that. I didn't know they lived 18 damn years.
I didn't either. Thank you for telling
No,
me. Now
but
that's another
You know
out.
that's
I
the
get my
maximum lifespan?
I didn't know it was, but he's had this one for 18 years. I don't know how long before that it was alive, but
See, 'cause-
Wow.
I don't know which. Oh, you might have a few. Is it a male or a female?
female.
Okay, so I just looked it up. You might have to put up with it for a few more years because they say a female tarantula can live 20 to 25 years. Oh, and the males only live 7 to 8 years. Yeah, it's definitely a female. Wow.
Go women. Another fight for women.
Look,
Look, that's my whole thing. I told I said no more animals that live
let the
longer
cat
than
eat 'em.
800 years.
Don't let the
Not
cat
yet.
eat him.
I don't think the cat would like it because they're kind of they got those fangs.
I know they say they bite, but I've never heard anybody actually get bit by one. He carries around on his hand.
I was gonna say, does he let it crawl on his arm or anything? Or
All over.
I would actually, like to see what that'd be like. Having a tarantula.
I'm going to have a great big book with me.
That's what I told him today. He had it. He was showing I was on a meeting at work, and he was like this in front of the camera showing it, and it was like his hand was down in front of my leg, and I'm like, if that thing falls, I'm gonna smash it. He's going like this. I will smash him.
I'm not scared of spiders, but that's still a big spider.
It's a very big.
I can climb through stuff and not have a.
Don't go get it, isn't she?
That's an Australian spider.
I don't care if they're harmless or not. It's too big of a freaking thing to be near me.
That's a spider.
Josh, it depends actually, because the pet ones, they have venom, but like if you have like the pet tarantulas, they usually take the venom out of it, but they could still bite though, because they still have those big fangs.
It's like when people say, "Oh, the snake's not poisonous." I'm sorry, I'm still not going near a snake.
Now,
the only good spider there is a flat one.
Look, a flat one. Oh, like the daddy long legs.
We were talking about sharks the other day, and y'all get a kick out of this. Something for y'all to make fun of me about. So I'm in Cancun, and I'm in the little yellow submarine. Stingrays all around us. And
did you say yellow submarine?
Yellow submarine. All I can think about is that Beatles song.
There you go.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
About that time, I look up and all I see is a fin. And I'm like, I look back and here comes some sharks.
Oh boy.
And I'm beating on the ceiling of this summer. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Finally, they calm me down because they say, you do realize if you get out of here, you're swimming with the sharks, right?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, okay, keep me in here. Keep me in. So we finally they're all making fun of me. This is everyone I've known my entire life making fun of me. And as everybody does. And finally, they're like, Ilene, you do realize those are nurse sharks? They don't have
nurse
teeth.
Sharks.
I'm like, I don't care if they have teeth or not. They still have the word sharks in them. So my shark issue goes very deep.
I always look at nurse sharks like the dogs of the sea. They're actually, as long as you don't step on them, they're actually not that dangerous.
Well, I didn't care. I was having fun with the stingrays. I was perfectly fine with the stingrays.
They have those little whiskers on them. I actually think nurse sharks are cute.
It was funny because the next day we were out snorkeling. And so we had to take the jet skis out to this little area to go snorkeling. It was me and one of my best friends, Dee, was with me. And we were out snorkeling. I went underwater. And now okay, I need to find this picture because no one's going to believe me. But there was a fish smiling at me. But I went underwater and snapped a picture. And I swear, this fish looks like it's smiling at me. And I was only a little bit drunk. And but I thought when I came face to face with the fish, I thought it was another shark. So I dropped like my a lot of I had some of my gear on me still. Yeah, I dropped that in the ocean.
Did you ever go back for it?
It was a shark.
Did you ever go back for it?
No, I went back to the jet ski, and then I went back to the boat and said I'm done. And then we went parasailing the next day, and so I couldn't even enjoy parasailing. It was the one with the bench, and I'm looking down, and all I can look for was sharks. At that point, after the nurse sharks, my whole trip was all about sharks.
Yeah, but the nurse sharks are cute though.
Didn't matter.
They have like those little cat eyes. They got the whiskers. Again, they're like cats almost.
See, I'll go to the beach with the kids, and I literally will stand between the kids in the ocean, and they're like, what are you doing? I said, because if a shark comes and gets you, it's gonna get me first. I can't have my kids die.
Oh, really?
I'm betting right now that Adrienne's trying to look for that tarantula.
I hope not.
Oh wait. Oh
Uh-oh. Jeremy, you sure about that?
because the numbers didn't match.
He's huge.
Just 1 second.
Oh, here he comes. All right. Show us
Hey,
what you
Dad.
got.
The cage is like bigger than the coffee table, and it bent in half, and it fell, and he's pissed.
Oh man.
Did he?
And,
They catch
do I
him?
have to worry about being chased around by this thing?
Oh no, it's in a nice cage, but it's never bit anybody, and it was just like in being carried in here, and the cage almost fell, and I reached down and got his nose, and he did not care.
Is it like
so friendly.
just, I know we're probably what color is it like a brown or is it a black
Brown
color?
and white.
Oh, brown and white. Okay. Oh, it's one of those tarantulas. Okay.
Oh, I think she's talking about the guinea pig.
Oh, I thought you was talking about the tarantula.
Oh
We're
no,
still on the tarantula, baby.
Get you a picture of that tarantula real quick.
We way past the guinea pig at this
I
point.
thought this whole time she was going to get the tarantula and bring it on the
That's so
screen.
too.
Listen, now
That's
we
what I
don't
thought.
keep up, guys. Keep up.
Now the guinea pig, I don't. Yeah, that
no.
doesn't
There's
bother
one for
me.
you.
I
There's
just
one
don't
for
want
you,
anything to do with that tarantula.
Joshua,
I've been bummed by
I
bull
would
sharks.
be haunting everyone, even if I had come and saw a bull shark. I would be haunting you all right now. And I would have dropped dead.
Well, you should come up to the Mississippi River because they got bull sharks in that river.
I've got the Mississippi River next to me.
Exactly. So you got the bull sharks there too. And we
And
got
I
them
don't
too in
go
Illinois.
to the Mississippi River unless I'm on the casino.
We got one up. There's also a casino right on our side of the Mississippi River.
Yeah, no. I cross the bridge to go to Louisiana, or I stay on the. No, I do not go.
We cross the bridge in our case to either go to Iowa or Missouri.
No. I go Arkansas. Well, I guess it depends on how far up I go. I guess it would matter, but either Arkansas or Louisiana.
Natalie thought the same thing too. She thought it was the spider too.
Yeah.
And Natalie
And-
should not be giving
And
these
speaking
guys.
of Natalie, Natalie's going to be one of our guests on the 13th Dimension when we come back
Yep.
on.
Yep. That will be my first. I don't know if it was going to be your first time, Jerry, but it'll be my first time actually meeting Natalie. I think face to face.
I haven't
Sorry,
met her
Natalie.
face to face either.
Okay, so it'll be both our first time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Natalie.
Yeah.
For anyone that has not known me, I am the jokester. So, you know.
Back
She
in the old
is,
days.
She does gropes,
Ropes.
jokes, and she gropes too.
Don. Don. Don't. We have no sharks up here. Yeah, I mean we don't, but we do have them in the Mississippi River. And Natalie said she missed that.
Well, the first time I met Jeremy, it was like the slow motion run.
Back in the
Seemed
old
like
days.
it, didn't it?
Right. Back in the old days.
Back in the old days, only like 6 months ago. We put Nick to be about 2 again.
Damn it, that all it's been? Yeah, it has only been just over 6 months. hasn't it?
Yeah, wow.
You
Right,
too.
7 months then, yeah.
No, 7 months. That was in
Yeah,
September.
7 months. Well, yeah, almost 7 months because now we're almost into May.
Almost 7 months to the day.
Almost.
Right.
Well, it
A
depends
little
on what
more.
date you're talking about.
Okay, who's running the podcast right now? Who can do the pictures?
I could share it.
Nick and I can do it.
Nick's younger.
Are you sending it to my chat or?
I'm sending it to you personally.
Okay. While you're doing that, I got to open up the. I realized I had my Facebook page closed.
You
so
can
I'll-
pick which one looks better. He's telling the guinea pig the rules in there.
Don't see anything from you yet.
I just sent it.
Oh, okay. Where? Let me try this. For some reason, I should have gotten it by now. Oh, wait. Here it is. Here we go. Whoa. Jeez.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Okay,
I
hold
have
on.
to
That's
stand
right.
on the chair and just kind of take a picture.
Share the wealth.
All right. Here he is.
Holy
Oh,
snaggle.
Wow.
See that skin? That shouldn't be there. It's
Holy
Are
gross.
you talking about on the abdomen right here? Oh no, the thorax.
I'm glad you know the parts because all I see is something I want to smush. But go ahead.
Yep. Me too.
well, like I said, I got a big book.
Oh,
Oh, these are blurry. I'll go back to these ones. Wow, that is a lot of fur on it.
Whew.
you know.
He's as big as Zach's hand.
Jeez. So this guy's massive.
Yeah, there's no
It's
way.
a girl. Thank you very much. At
Yeah,
least get the
female.
gender correct.
Yeah, but her name's Harry.
Her name is Harry. Okay, well, I can see why.
Well, that's kind of like my bearded dragon. I mean, because we didn't know, because it takes forever for you to know their gender.
Uh-huh.
And Leo started laying eggs. But by then, Leo knew Leo's name.
I didn't even know you had a bearded dragon.
I
Ilene.
don't since February. She passed on us in February.
Oh, how old
Yeah,
was she?
I've had I forget. I have to go back and look. I think she was only like 8 or something. But at one time we had a water dragon, a bearded dragon, 3 leopard geckos, 3 ferrets, and 3 cats. Oh, and a gerbil, excuse me, and 2 rats.
Terry makes a good. I'm surprised she didn't call her Harriet.
That's a farm right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said it belonged to his kid's kindergarten class. And one kid is now in Japan teaching, and another kid is just got done becoming a sheriff's deputy to be a jailer. So, yeah, that's
So
probably
he
where he got
ran
there.
one of them out of the country and made the other one get prepared to arrest him. I gotcha. And yes, Terry, that's actually what I kind of said. We were going to rename, but I was outnumbered and said, nope, it's Leo. It's Leo.
What? Josh just said this. I despise tarantulas, but my best friend owned one for 30 years.
Oh,
And I
God.
have to admit, he was.
Holy moly.
Don't tell me that.
That's 20. I said they said they usually live 20 to 25 years. And how did a tarantula
Tell me
manage to live
that.
till 30? Spider's
Look
almost
what you
just as old
eat.
as I was. Spider's just
All
as
I
old
do
as
is-
I am.
I
I've
won't
never
go
seen
to-
this one do anything like that. It just like sucks the inside out of cricket.
Ugh.
So you don't even know it's eating.
See, now my son says I can't do snakes either. And my son said that he's going to get a snake and always have a snake in his house. I asked him why. He says, well, I could never come over. I said, that's okay because that means your laundry will never get done. Because my kid doesn't do laundry. And I don't ever see him in the future doing laundry.
He needs to.
Well, I told him if he gets a snake, his laundry will never get done.
What kind of snake does he want?
Oh, who knows? He probably wants 20 different snakes. That boy loves him some snakes.
When I was younger, I used to love snakes too. That's
Mm-mm.
actually true.
I love lizards, but I can't even get a lizard that kind of even remotely looks like a snake. They want a tegu, but I'm like, I am not dealing with a daggum tegu, and I still have the 3 cats, 3 lizards, and 2 ferrets. I'm not getting a tegu.
I gotta bring this up because I just found this on YouTube. But all this talk about tarantulas, I can't help but you guys are all familiar with Three Stooges, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now, right?
No, there was. I don't know if you guys remember. There was that famous episode that they did it on the Disorder in the Court, and they were like doing like a little jazz band, and Larry was using the violin. And he accidentally got the wig of like one of the attorneys. It got caught on the bow, and as he's playing, he brings the bow back with the wig. I was like, a tarantula.
Wow.
That's so that the Three Stooges. They never get old.
Emery, you can come on investigation with me, but I will never go to your house.
Oh, I can see why.
And if you bring a snake on the investigation, yeah, no, not cool.
Just shows snakes on Unlocked and Uncensored often. Her husband breeds boas. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Nope, nada.
That's quite a job.
I was
Josh knows what I'm talking about. Love the Three Stooges.
I was out fishing.
He knows
one
what I'm
day.
talking about.
we had gone and bought like hundreds of dollars of fishing equipment, and I was up in Grenada Lake up north, and bought, fishing license, everything. Went and talked to this little kid, told us the best little hole to go fishing. Went down there and looked. Okay, great. And so was walking back to the vehicle, and there was a king snake across the walkway. Well, my son jumped in my lap, my second youngest at the time, jumped in my lap or in my arms, and I'm just looking around. Whose arms am I going to jump in? Why does Nick have your...
Nick is on my account.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I thought I was doing something wrong.
I really do need to change that picture because originally I had the 13th Dimension logo on there, and then for a show that I was doing, I was staying off camera and I'd rather have my face up there instead of the logo, and then I changed it and I never changed it back.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, we did not fish that day. All that money spent, and I did not go fishing.
I'm not even going to ask.
No.
All right, what have I missed? Sorry, I had to grab some water. What the hell?
I think Eileen farted and she had to, spray.
What the hell? Why is your face showing up on shit?
Eileen asked the same thing.
Almost.
So now we have two of me's on the show.
Oh, shit.
Oh gosh, one's
Uh-oh.
bad enough.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no. Shit. I think I just broke my Simon Says.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Simon Says jump on 1 foot.
No, I was moving the chair back and somehow got caught under the leg, and I think I just broke it. Damn.
Ooh. Not good.
Not good. Well, at least these are cheap to get, so worst comes to worst, I could always just buy a new one. Damn. And I haven't even really been able to use, I've only used it once for an investigation.
Yeah. Well, we've been on for almost 2.5 hours now.
Yeah. I was expecting we were going to get off after 2 hours.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this has been a good opening show.
Definitely.
Yeah. And we still have double digits in viewership too right now.
Yeah, 12 viewers. How about
Yeah.
that? Simon Says.
Which is good for being almost 2.5 hours.
It is.
Yep. I think our highest we had was about 15 people. Oh, actually, no, we had like almost 20 people watching.
We actually, I saw as high as 21 at one time.
Yep.
Thank y'all for supporting us.
Thank you.
We're crazy idiots, fools.
You never know what'll come out of any of our mouths.
And I do have an outro video, just a credits thing, like I did on 13th Dimension. I decided to do that for this show here too.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun to check out.
Yeah, it's not much.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, it is. I hate to just end the show and that's it.
I've actually, Jeremy, to be honest, I actually have had some thoughts about maybe doing something like that too for my show, because when I was doing my game show, I did actually have an intro and outro to that. So I'm actually thinking about putting something together for paranormal and historic locations and legends. I have the idea. I'm just trying to figure out how I could put it together. I mean, I could put it together. I just need to figure out exactly like how I'm going to, what exactly am I envisioning?
Yeah, I like having intro videos and outro videos because it makes it seem more like a show.
Yeah.
Instead of just, hey, we're live.
Yep.
So.
And the 30-second countdown just doesn't seem to really fit into it. Not to mention now you get copyrighted for it.
That 30-second countdown is pissing me off.
I am so sick of getting those notifications.
Those star, it's like star hits, I think they call it now. And it's just so damn annoying.
And I dispute it every single time, and they release their claim every single time. This last one I said, if you keep doing this, I'm going to report your page.
You know, when I first saw that, I honestly first thought to myself, thinking, well, maybe it's the footage or the movie trailers that I sometimes show that may be the issue.
Oh.
But when I go back and look at them, it's just like it's not even it's not the pictures, it's not the movie clips, it's not the news footage, it's just the damn 30-second intro.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
That-
you gotta be kidding
That
me.
StreamYard put on there, and Facebook okayed it.
Yep. Oh,
So it is what it is.
we're just gonna have that's why I'm trying to make my own intro for. So I don't have to have that issue.
And making intros are just not that bad either.
No, they're not. I mean, like the one that I made for my game show last year, it only took me probably about a good half hour to put it together. Well, mine was a little bit longer because I actually had to create my own countdown, like by hand. But other than that, though, it only took like about 5 to 10, maybe 15 minutes for me to.
There's your countdown right there.
Oh yeah, it only took like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes to put together entirely.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's time to end the show. I still got a few things that I need to get done before I go to bed, so that I don't have to worry about it tomorrow morning.
Good night, Joanne.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure I put the little
you,
spider
Terry.
under your bed. You know.
No.
Night, Josh.
I'm gonna look up hotels now.
No.
He'll go stay in a graveyard.
I would feel safer
You know
there.
what? Hey, you know what? Back in the old days, people used to stay in the graveyard.
Back in the old days when we first met.
All right. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate that.
Thank y'all.
Restart. Oh my God! Now he wants me to start with my game show. Oh, I don't know if I could. I would if I. That'd be too much.
Okay.
Maybe for Halloween. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has
All right.
definitely been a very enjoyable show. And thank you for all of you guys hanging out with us and having fun and sharing some laughs. I enjoyed this one.
Definitely.
Yes. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah.
Well, actually, next week, depending on the time, I might be bowling.
Might be what?
So, I might be bowling.
Oh, you're bowling. I'm actually bowling this upcoming Saturday with friends. So
Yeah, because my shift next Thursday is at 2:00, and that's their time. So, which is 5 here. If anything, I might be a little late.
I have no friends, so I have nothing to do.
Yeah. So one of you guys will have to host the show.
Nick, you're on.
Nick, you already got the account, so may as well do it.
Funny how we both said Nick. There you go.
oh,
There you
boy.
go.
You know who we have on for next, like our first guest for next week? Do you know who's supposed to be coming on, or
There's a guest.
wait, weren't we supposed to have a guest, or?
I didn't
I know
think
I'm
so.
talking to somebody. I'm going to talk to somebody. I sent a message. I'm going to talk to
Well, I
someone.
thought I don't know why I kept thinking we were going to have a guest. I kept thinking that I'm still getting used from the old days.
Yeah, Eileen is working on getting somebody, but for this show, between the four of us, whether if we have a guest or not, we're going to be able to have a show.
Yep.
We always have stuff to talk about.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the beauty of this crew right here.
Yeah.
And guys, thank you for everybody that streamed for us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Keep sharing for us.
Definitely keep sharing, and I'll go ahead and put the outro video on.
Yeah.
And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.